The perfect body accepts and invites change, reacts to it. All change creates an environment ripe with red velvet cloth, dusty white windows, peering through to laughing individuals that I wish were you. But the perfect body contains a feeling when disassembled, flight and fear, to rejoin its senses, its cells, microscopic triangulated shelves, the subtle jarring notion that I might not be ourselves, because the perfect body wants to exist while it tells itself it cannot, while it hibernates, decomposes, extrapolates, coagulates into something I've begun to know, become friends with. The perfect body exists, exiting at every moment I blink.
I don't really know what it is totally, but I really fuck with the design. I just felt like that's me, you know? I don't think I have a favorite. They're like my children.
I don't know, life's funny, shit's funny, and like doesn't always need to mean something. And I just love root beer. It's like an amazing drink. So I wanted to commemorate that, and I wanted it to be silly. That was the goal, like get a silly tattoo.
I think it's very good for everybody's character to go get some you know, some tattoos with more mojo than technical skills. They look cooler a lot of the time.
As I grow into my like tattoos and like grow with them, like they mean different things to me, and I don't know, I always kind of like come back to like certain tattoos.
This was the flash I was talking about that I kind of added to. My friend has a really cool deck of cards with like just some awesome images, and there were these squiggles in red on the hanged man's body and fish and stuff. So it originally was all black, so I added all of the red to it, and yeah, I'm really proud of how this came out. And there is meaning with this one. Like, this one definitely isn't a joke, but the hanged man is facing away from me, so it's like the reversal is towards me, and it's just kind of about like sitting in the suck a little bit. That's kind of how I think about it. Like, sometimes you just have to be suspended in air and float with what's happening, and like the action I take is taking no action.
I love this sleeve so much, my traditional sleeve. It's probably like the only sleeve I want to like keep like color, really, and then my legs I want to keep mostly like black and red.
This whole arm I want to do in black and red only.
I have my lesbian cat and my gay little wizard. It was all like just a lot I did on myself and like triple layers. A lot of these are people's first tattoos. These are all trans people who did that's a first machine tattoo from someone. There's a flower over here. That's my other friend's first machine tat. A lot of these are, as you can see, that's Jude's right there.
I'm definitely a lot more comfortable being tattooed by queer people. The more like weird tattoos that I have, they're all from like queer people. There's some like magic about it sometimes when I can identify like the queer experience in some capacity into their art and their tattooing style because of that.
I was getting pretty heavily tattooed for several years before like I had considered tattooing, and falling into that space was motivated in large part just by needing to have some autonomy over my body. I think like a sentiment that like a lot of people I tattoo and a lot of other people who I watch kind of come into what's kind of been referred to as queer tattooing in like the past like 8 years or something. And I think the first or most obvious thesis about it that a lot of us shared was like that it made us feel a bit better about our bodies. You build a little space worth protecting, and then it's just easier to be around. And it's not always very profound. Sometimes it's simple. It's just the absence of having that pressure on you. And building this space is kind of giving me that personally. And I get the sense from my clients, they come at it from a lot of different directions, but that sense of it being a haven in that respect is what I've noticed people's feedback on.
I I go there and hang out with friends sometimes, and I don't even get a tattoo. It's just like a fun place to hang out.
The practice of tattooing is like such a ritualistic experience. I think it's like so incredibly empowering to tattoo yourself, to put like just like put things on your body for you to remember forever. While you're receiving a tattoo, I think a lot about, you know, how I'm kind of surrendering to this experience of someone else putting their art on me. But while I'm giving a tattoo, I think a lot about how this person is trusting me in a way that you don't usually experience, especially like not between someone I don't know super well. And to put my art onto their body, I think is one of the biggest compliments you could receive as an artist. My body is something that I mean, I think everyone would like to say they can have their own kind of control and power with, yeah.
Getting tattoos kind of came after like figuring out some of this gender stuff. For me, it's like, I don't really feel like I'm anywhere on the spectrum. I just want to be off of it completely. So I don't identify as like a man or a woman. I do use the word trans because I do feel like in some way that embodies me, but I'm not like transitioning to anything. I'm transitioning away. Outside appearance is really important, and not in a superficial way, but more of like clothing is how I feel like myself. So when I get dressed every morning, it's like, okay, this is like the me that I want others to see, and that aligns with like the me I see inside. And tattoos are just like another element of that.
I had my torso pretty heavily tattooed, and it made it something nice that I could look at, that I enjoyed looking at. It changed how I interfaced with having dysmorphia and body dysmorphia, and gave me kind of like some agency and control. I think a lot of people feel that way. There's something unique about the feeling of agency it gives you over a vehicle that you felt so pushed around in or estranged or alienated by.
Tattooing is just another way to be like, yeah, I'm a fucking dyke, I'm butch. Like, I want things on my limbs, on my body that like like I don't want to be a man, but at parts of me I do want to be like masculine, so I definitely am getting tattoos that like lean more in that direction.
Even when I'm like super anxious or stressed out or something, I can just look at my tattoos and that will ground me in a way, because it's like looking at something that I had control over putting on me, you know?